Hello everybody, what's up? I was called to do a video like this today. I used to do a lot of videos like this on this channel. Some card pull messages, some guidance from spirit this way. And then eventually the Return of Christ work kind of took over and I started showing my face a lot more. But today we have an important message for somebody. Whoever this video calls to, this message is for you. So I've got some cards I'm going to pull. Two of them are my decks. My newest deck is in the printers and will be here by the end of this month. So I'm so excited about that. I'll be able to include that also in my card pulls. But we have some major energies at play right now. There's some major things going on and some guidance is wanting to come through for somebody. So in just a moment, I will be pulling some cards and delivering that message for whatever comes through. I have no idea yet. I just heard to do this, so I am. So welcome. Today is 9/11. There's a lot of remembrance for 9/11 and what happened. And in part of the Return of Christ work that I have done over these last 5 years, one of the videos I did, if not many, dealt with removing darkness, Stonehenge, and even remove the souls from 9/11 from the Twin Towers. So you can check that out. I will put it in the comments section of my channel after this video, after I record this video. So that was my tribute, right, to 9/11, is clearing out all the darkness, exposing truths, undoing the darkness, and bringing the return of Christ. And I'm so very honored and happy to have done that. But let's see what today has to bring, what this message says for somebody. Again, I don't know which way it's going to go. They told me to pull certain decks. Okay, so I did. And this is some Palo Santo. So for those who don't know me, my name, or what Spirit calls me, is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am an ascension master, a master healer, and a divine guide, to say the least. I have been spending since 2019, when I had my own Kundalini awakening, sudden, bringing through things that deal with the return of Christ. Very powerful, very life-altering, and time-changing things. Okay? So I am just getting my cards ready. Again, I have my decks that I've created, but I have some others too. So we are going to start, hang on, let me grab a different deck here. They want me to add a couple others, so I am. All right, so I have a couple other decks too. One of them is my Crow Tarot, and the other one is my Crow Oracle deck that I'm adding in here. So we're going to start with a Crow Oracle deck. That's what I'm hearing. Start with Crow Oracle deck here and see what Spirit has to say. So I'm going to calm the energy. I'm also going to wipe off some muck from the heart space, okay? So that all energy, all messages are received in the love in which they are given, and the shadow doesn't try to get in the way. So the way we used to communicate a lot were through a language that you're not used to, right? That of God's language, which is what I'm speaking, but also through telepathic communication and symbols. Symbols are very important and very relevant. My new deck has a lot of sigils that I channeled in it for 7D. There are new ones, but symbols and sigils and telepathic communications were once the way, in a very big way, and those are kind of circling back again, okay? But again, if we have shadow, you're going to be more and more cut off from the light because we cannot be duality anymore. That is the return of Christ. Duality components cannot exist any longer. So where you have shadow, you will become, unfortunately, more blinded to the light. So you want to push through all of that, right? You want to push through that resistance. Only love will continue to rise. That guy's wobbly and I don't want him to fall. Love will continue to rise. This is a pink amethyst. I'm going to put it behind my kyanite there so it doesn't fall down as I'm doing this message. I don't even know if you can see all that. But I have some crystals here with us. All right. I have my own homemade candle filled with Christ light. And just a nice, comfy, cozy space. I feel like we need support. We need love. We need comfort. We need ease. We need grace. So I'm just opening up to the message that we need. What do we need today? God, Spirit, angels, and guides. If any beings wish to come in with us, they can do so. But what do we need to know or hear or see today? What is coming? What does somebody need to hear? So resistance to karmic purge is not serving, right? Don't resist karmic purging. And then we have release. Okay, right now with these energies, they're overwhelming. But because they're here to help you like release. It's time to release. This is also what I'm hearing is past life components, ancestral component releasing, okay, and loved ones. So I've been having a lot of dreams. Some of my dreams have people who've passed away, and others they haven't, right? And so they're just from the past. There's a lot of that coming through. So we are releasing a lot of wounds and a lot of timelines from the past right now, okay? And so being resistant to releasing will not serve us. We need to really dive into that releasing right now, even if it's hard, even if it's uncomfortable. We need to give way to newness and let go of the past, okay? Yes, be aware of distractions coming in. Be aware of those distractions coming in, okay? Because they will keep you from releasing. They're here to distract you from releasing. I had a similar message come in yesterday during my live for somebody. So if they're watching this, this might really resonate with them. Okay? Beware of the community that you keep. All right? Because some of that community will distract you. And others are here to help you. All right, so be aware of them. Know the community that is around you. But also, when you find the right community, it is great support. Okay, so we want the right community, not the distracting one. You need to really be mindful of those distractions right now, because there are truly things here that are trying to distract us from what is important at this time, because we need this deep releasing. In order to rise, you see how these birds are flying up? In order to rise, we have to release what once was. We have to be willing to let go of the past. And this past is not just this lifetime, you guys. This past is multiple lifetimes. I've been seeing that on a very large level. A very large level. That we really need to release these past soul ties. Past lessons, past everything, you guys. It's very deep. It's not just one at a time either. It's like multiple, and it can feel jarring, it can feel confusing, and we can feel lost. And so this community card also, you know, this releasing card really truly speaks loudly for company that we would keep through our lifetimes, right? They're usually soul path karmic ties a lot, and we're releasing those. In the ascension, the great reset of mankind, we won't be taking a lot of these with us, okay? So some soul ties will even change. Our community might be changing, and that's okay. Or we just release the karmic ties to those soul ties, and they're changing as well. But if we don't dive deep into that releasing right now, we won't be able to rise to the frequency that we need to accept what is happening at this time. Okay, so this is very, very important. We need to be aware of the people that we keep, and truly reach out to those that can help us, not distract us. Okay, so there's some energies present, very loud, that are very distracting, because that's the shadow. It's a shadow component, and they want to fool you. You see how this bird is distracting the dog so the other bird can steal his food? They work together, and that's how the shadow works. It's like a puppet master, and it's contagious, and it kind of infects anything it can, and it gets them to do their dirty work. You see what I'm saying? And so we need to be mindful of those distractions. We need to be aware of our community and what's happening within it, our flock, and we need to be rooted in the correct community, okay? And releasing what does not belong. So even on our external world, not just internal, relationships, to jobs, to loved ones, things like that that don't serve you, they must go. Any karmic playouts have to be released at this time. Okay, and then we have battle. This battle card, trying to make it to where you can see it. Battle. Okay, this battle, this is an internal battle a lot, but this internal battle will play out in your physical world. Okay, just like I talked about how the shadow works. The shadow uses energies of those around them that are willing to pick it up, and it creates this battle within you. Remember this distraction card, right? And the proper community. We need to release any components of the battle. Like, why battle it, right? It seems like we have to battle, we have to fight. But if you truly just anchor into the right things, if you ground into the right things, that battle becomes unnecessary. And we just release it. We release the need to battle and we rise above. That battle alone can be a distraction. Okay? Does that make sense? Let's keep going. That battle alone can be a distraction. Okay? Then we have freedom. See? Freedom. Freedom from the battle. Freedom from the things that do not serve you. Freedom here. Release. Okay? Freedom and release. Release the battle. You're free. You're free from those distractions. Free yourself from those distractions. Okay? Free yourself from those distractions. Now they're saying I can move on, so I'm going to grab a new deck. Those distractions cause that battle. They create that battle, that internal warfare, because you guys, this is truly a battle for your soul. Okay, the return of Christ, the end of ways outside of God, the great reset of mankind, all these terms is generally just, you need to set your soul free. Okay, you have to release what holds you back from the freedom of your soul. All right, is true. From that battle, that internal battle of the wounds in the past and those distractions, set your soul free. Okay, we don't need those distractions anymore. We need to set our soul free. Release. Release what distracts you. Release the battle within. Anchor into the correct communities. Okay? And don't listen to the distracting ones. All right? There are distractions coming in for a reason. Because they don't want you free. If you free your soul from all shadow components, they have no more power. Okay? That is how they have power, is they steal it from you. So that's why it's a battle for your soul. Okay, and you can look at it as the devil and God. God, has called it El Diablo, but it's just darkness. It's darkness to light, and we cannot be duality anymore. We cannot. We have to be pure light beings. So it's important to release what holds us back from freedom. Release it so that battle is no more, right? The battle ensues until you stand in strength and say, I'm done with this battle. I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to be free. And I release all distractions that are surrounding me. There we go. That's distracting me. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Release it. Let go of the battle. There's no need to battle. There's no need to suffer. Surrender. Sometimes the hardest part is letting go. That's when the battle ensues, is because we don't always want to let go. We don't always want to let go of our past. We don't always, we fear the unknown. And we have become extremely accustomed to the way things are, even if they're not good. Even if they hurt us, right? So let them go. All right, let's see what else Spirit has to say. This is a very important message for somebody. Woo! No more need to battle. No more need to suffer. Release the resistance and everything holding you back. Okay, and now we have another community card from a different deck. Okay, gathering around the power of community. If we isolate ourselves or we surround ourselves with the wrong people, the wrong energies, We can't see. The battle gets tougher. Okay? It's super important to know who you surround yourself with. All right? It's not to say that we need to judge people. The thing is when people are surrounded in shadow, they can't see either. So they may not intend to distract you or keep you blinded, but they do it because they're blinded too. So that's the way the shadow works. It works as like that puppet energy. Okay? And whoever has it, it becomes harder to see through. All right? And so it's super, that's why when we have an awakening, we will become alone a lot of times. Okay, so we have 2 different community cards here. The power of the right community. Knowing who you surround yourself with. That's half the battle. Excuse me, let's see why my throat is going wonky. Sometimes when I'm doing messages, if I'm missing anything, they will clog my throat. So I just want to make sure it's not me. It's not just my throat, that they're not trying to tell me something. You have to release the soul ties that are holding you back. You have to let go. You have to step up now. That's what I'm hearing. Step away from the soul ties that are holding you back. Step away from those that have shadow and focus on lack. Okay? It's not about anything right now other than you need to rise. Right? It's time to rise. And if we don't step away from those soul ties that are holding us back, they can't rise either. Because shadow begets shadow. Light begets light. Okay? So be willing to step away. Be willing to let go of the wonder and the fear about them. Focusing more inward on your soul and setting it free in every way. This is part of the battle, is being afraid of change. Also knowing what communities to surround yourself with. Okay? So know the people you surround yourself with. That's super important for somebody right now. Somebody is surrounded by people that are kind of blinding them. They're holding them back. They're distracting them for a reason, because the shadow wants to distract them. You guys, and I have had people shove their shadow at me many times during the Return of Christ work. And they don't always notice they're doing it because they're blinded as well. This is not about, oh, look how horrible they are. It's not about that. The shadow works in mysterious ways, okay? And unless people are willing to see that battle and rise above it, they don't know either. So this is not about throwing judgments at people. This is about knowing what's happening to you, knowing the distractions that are happening to you so that you can set them free. Okay? You can release them, you can step away, you can walk away and do the work that you need to do. Because there's something important of releasing that needs to occur right now. So the distractions from those of the energy you surround yourself with will be very loud and in your face. Okay? So let's see what else Spirit has to say. It is a battle for your soul. It truly, truly is. That's the return of Christ. The Matrix doesn't want you free. So it's going to get in your head and convince you that, if you do this, something bad's going to happen. If you do this, blah, 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 blah. And if you accept that, then you create that. Okay? So you don't want to accept that. It's all about you because you have free will. You are a creator. So if you choose to accept whatever the shadow throws at you, then that's what you're going to create. So if God's like, hey, quit this job, let go of the matrix, rise above right now, release this thing, and you're like, but I can't because then this will happen, then that's what it's going to be. Okay? Then we have another releasing. Moon Maidens, new beginnings. Okay? Moon Maidens talks about letting go of all that weight, letting go of what holds us back, letting go of the lack, letting go. Another releasing card, okay? Because when we do that, new things can come in. That's how we rise. We have to let go of that internal battle, the wounds, the fear, the injustices. We have to let go of that control, okay? So that we can set ourselves free. And new things can come in. And the beauty of it is not knowing all of the things. We are such to where we have to know the answers sometimes. Or we don't feel comfortable. And Spirit doesn't work that way. Okay? The new earth doesn't work that way. It's about experiencing life as it comes. Okay? So there's a lot here about knowing who you surround yourself with and releasing that battle and those distractions. Okay? Very big. Know what community is around you and who holds shadow. All right? Because if they are surrounding you, it's hard to see. You have to be rooted and anchored into the right energies. Okay? Ugh, dropping all kinds of things. Oh, I love it when they fly out, but can they fly out where I need them to, like this one did? Here we go. Skywriting the fates. So just like I told you, you are a powerful creator. So if you believe something to be true, it's going to be true. That's how the shadow works through you. It distracts you. It makes you think something else is more important. It makes you think that if I let go of this, I won't be okay. And that's not true. Okay, unless you let it be. You are a powerful creator. And this is what the media, this is what everything would use against you. Because if they get you to believe something to be true, then you make it true. Okay, this is why Jesus didn't die for your sins, because it takes away your free will. Okay, you have free will and everything can only happen through you. So you are skywriting the fates. You are writing your journey no matter what that is. Whether you rise or fall, you're creating it through letting these distractions become overwhelming and conquer you. Okay? Lost Compass talks about getting back to integrity. It's talking about redirecting yourself to the right things so that you get aligned again with your soul path. Okay, this one talks about that very loud. Let me slow down. Again, we have another connectivity here. Jeweled web connectivity. We are all connected. Okay, so everything we do affects one another. Right? It's true. We are all connected through the light of the one in our heart space. This is why when we have shadow blinding the heart space, we cannot see what is happening. That distractions card. Okay? So when we open up and we release all of that resistance, all of the shadow, especially from the heart space, we can see clearly. Then we can shine our light and activate the light in those that we're connected to. All right? So when I let go of those that are blinding me, it doesn't mean that they won't awaken either, okay? They might, but it's up to them. They have their own free will just as you do, all right? And this Lost Compass talks about getting realigned to your soul path and the necessity that it's calling for to do that right now. So we have at least one more card from the Shaman's Dream, and then they want me to pull an Oracle Tarot, okay? So this message is important for somebody. That's why when God gives you something, you jump. You don't question it. You don't hesitate. The moment you hesitate to God or that nudge of the light is the moment you let in the shadow. You give your power away to that shadow. So the moment something negative comes in and you accept it, you give your power away and you become blinded. Okay? Overflow, transmuting, clarity, and organization. Okay? Clarity. Sometimes where there is clutter, we cannot see clearly. So a tidy house, you need to, cleanse your home, but inside and outside. Clear your mind. There's clutter. There's the thoughts of others, right? The community. We're all connected. So the shadow works through the mind and God works through the heart. The shadow works through the mind and God works through the heart. Okay? That battle is usually in your head. All right, and that's transmuting pain. Fool's embrace is we just become accustomed and we don't want to let go of what hurts. We're almost afraid to let go of the past because we don't know what's coming. And that is a fool's embrace, okay? It's time to let them go and watch the amazing things that are coming, because it's not about creating the past again. It's about newness and beauty and true love, okay? So this overflow, overwhelm, and plenty is when there's too many emotions. We need to let them go, all right? Again, don't hold on to what hurts. That's a fool's embrace. You need to release everything that has hurt you, all right? So that we can make way cleansing, clarity and organization, a tidy house. This card speaks of internal and external. So I will purge my house every so often, and my kids get so frustrated. They're like, Mom, what happened to this? Did you throw it away in one of your purging episodes? I have literally thrown the couch away before. Like, I just, out with the old and in with the new, I say. Sometimes I can go a little overboard with this one, but that's okay, you know, because the more we cleanse out and release, it's just clutter. The more freedom we have, the less we have, sometimes the more freedom we have. So when we're overwhelmed with emotions, we need to release them. Just truly let them go, let them flow. We don't want to stay in that overflow, okay? We got to let it go. There's a lot of releasing here because you need to be careful of what you're creating. You want to create from the light and from love, okay? Not from pain, not from the past. This is about a new alignment to a soul path, realigned to your soul path, okay? And we cannot see it. So here we are again with knowing the community you house, knowing those that are distracting you. So everything carries energy in your life, and it's time to purge all of that because it's very distracting, okay? And sometimes we're afraid to let go because we don't know what's coming in the future. We don't know what this means. We almost be like afraid of the future because of our past. And we are creatures of comfort. We like our comfort zones. And so even sometimes we get comfortable in pain. And it's really important to let that go because it's a fool's embrace. Sometimes we're afraid of that freedom, right? But it's a fool's embrace. It's going to hurt you right now. It will hurt you on a soul level. You won't be able to align with your soul path, okay? And this distraction card back here wants to keep you distracted from freedom. Because if you're free, they don't have your power anymore. Okay, it's like enslavement on another level. And now I'm going to pull from the Crow Tarot deck for whatever they want to come through here. Whatever part of this message resonates with you, let it be you. Also, the way I do things is I say things that haven't always happened yet. So if a part of this message doesn't resonate with you yet, but you found this video, just put everything in your pocket. Hold on to it. Okay? Don't shun it. Don't let it go. Just hold on to things. And what does make sense, take actions on it now. Okay? And then the rest, it might flow back around. They want 3 of these. All right. Okay, so we have 6 of Cups. Sorry, that's not right. 9 of Cups. I can count, I promise. So 9 of Cups, okay? 9 of Cups kind of reminds me of the distraction card too. Like sometimes when we have so many choices, we have so many things, we can become distracted from what matters. Okay, that's what I'm hearing with this one. 9 of Cups. 9 truly talks about letting things go. Okay, so when this overwhelm and plenty kind of reminds me of that. Right now, that's what this card is saying. Okay, cards don't always mean the same thing. It goes with the context in which you're pulling them, right? 6 of Swords. That's why I said 6. This card talks about, again, Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain, right? Like sometimes our journey has been quite difficult. Some of us have had a difficult journey, and it's hard because we've lost some feathers, right? We may have lost a piece of who we are. We may have lost some things. Transmuting pain, okay? But when we're willing to completely soar through that and let them go and be open to the changes and the possibilities the future brings and not worry about what we've lost, we can make some really beautiful things. Ace of Pentacles, okay? This is like a new thing, a new idea, a new beginning, starting over, a new. But you see how big this pentacle is? That represents like abundance and your ability to create with the things around you. Do you hear this? So it's important to not worry about what we've let go of, even if it hurt like an SOB. okay? Don't worry about what we've let go of, even if it hurt really badly. Clear the clutter of the past, because when we have too many things, it's hard to really truly see what matters. Okay, this is an abundance, but this is also emotions. So when we, again, overflow, we have the same message coming through in different forms. When we have too many things, it's hard to see what truly matters. Okay? And then when that happens, we pick things that really don't fulfill us. Right? So we need to let go. We need to clear out the clutter here so that we can truly see what truly matters. All right? Emotions. Release those emotions. Release some of those things that we hold on to that once we valued. That's what this message is saying. And even if things hurt us, we aren't necessarily going to have that pain again. Okay, we have to let it go. You know, it's not about creating the pain again. Okay, it's a little bit of a challenge, right? He's kind of flying against the wind there. There's also winds of change here. All right, so it's like winds of change coming in. You may have lost some feathers. It may have been a difficult journey and a difficult ride, but there is beauty once you clear the clutter, okay? And when you clear that clutter, you're going to be able to create things from the things you already have. That's an important part of this message. So you already have the necessary tools to create the most abundant space, but you cannot see the new tools because the old things are blocking you. Okay? So don't be afraid to forget and let go and accept the past. And take that challenge of moving forward at last, okay? 6 of Swords. This is about your power, right? You have strength in you. There is power in you. And it's okay to let go of pieces of yourself in order to get there. All right? So you need to clear that clutter so that true abundance can come in. New ways of creating that abundance can come in. Not through old ways of doing things, you feel me? But through new ways of doing things, okay? That's a very important message there. All right, now I need to go to a Myriad deck, they're saying. Dun, 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 dun. So this is Spirit's controlled message, right? They want certain cards, but look how the cards of different decks are saying the same thing. When that happens, it's a solidified message, right? Like it's really hard to deny the message that's coming through. Have you ever done that? Where you look for guidance from Spirit and you're like, well, I'm not sure that's the message. I'm going to pull another deck. Or I'm going to redo that deck again. I'm going to try it again. And it's the same message repeated. That's how you truly know that that is the correct message, my friends. All right, Spirit, what else do we need to see? Gatekeeper. I'm hearing that. I haven't pulled it yet. Gatekeeper. It's a realm bridger. It's like it's important to know that these things are going to help take you to the next level. Okay? All these things that I've talked about today are important to rise to the next level, to rise through that gate of ascension, all right? And it's not always easy. We do have to let go who we once were. We do have to let go things of the past, okay? Even if they're good sometimes, right? Even if they served a purpose, even if at one time they were abundant and felt great, they don't serve us anymore, and they're blocking what truly matters. Okay, so it's a distraction, right? Some of the things from the past can really distract us and hold us back from the one more they're saying. From the true abundance of love and light and the higher frequency required to rise at this time. So your vibration has to be super high right now to feel good in these energies. And the only way to do that is release everything that keeps it down, okay? All right. So let's see the totality of the message here as I give it. Root chakra. Again, it's like grounding. Remember the community card of grounding. Okay? Ground and center. If we're not grounded and centered, we can't hear clearly. If we are not grounded, we cannot communicate and co-create. So my book, the book that I have just released, I'll show you, speaks of this. Okay? This book speaks of this because we have to be co-creating. okay? The thing is you're always co-creating, but most of us, we're co-creating with the shadow, with that battle and what holds us back, okay? So we need to ground, release, and center in order to co-create with the heart center. You have to be co-creating with your heart center, which is where God resides and spirit resides. And if you have wounds and things of the shadow blocking that, you cannot co-create from that heart center accurately. All right? So you need to transform the ways you do things. You need to transform the ways that you feel things, and what's happening, okay? Then we have sacral chakra, core of creation. So your sacral chakra is truly about your life power, your life purpose, okay? So this is really a very powerful message here, accompanied with our ancient future. So when I started this message today, did you guys hear me talk about how we used to communicate in the world? It used to be through telepathic communication, through symbols, all connected through the heart center. Spirit is connected through our heart center, okay? That's where God is. Remember me telling you here, we are all connected, okay? We are either connecting and communicating through the heart center or through the mind where the shadow resides. That's why you have to get back your power from the mind, because the mind is toxic, okay? Unless you clear it out and you heal everything and you can tell the difference between the thoughts of light and darkness, the mind is very toxic and not always our friend. I had to take a sip of my coffee, sorry. So, we, as I stated before, need to release. We are in a period of transformation, going from back to our ancient future. And in the Return of Christ work, this is what I did. I took us back to Atlantis, but then I also ascended Atlantis to 7D. Okay? So everything is ascending. It's a universal ascension. It's an ethereal ascension. So we are going back to the ancient and forward into a new future at the same time. So back to the old ways of doing things. Our world, just like my book talks about, New Earth manifesting, co-creating, okay? Our world, our new earth has to be creation from the heart center. That's why you can't have karma and wounds, because you won't be able to hear God. You won't be able to match the vibration of that, okay? It's not about punishment. It's not about who's better than who. It's about ending that battle internally and finally accepting unconditional love and letting go of what holds you back, so that you can truly create the most beautiful space, because we were all creating with something. It was either shadow or God, okay? We're never alone. We are always co-creating with something, all right? Because the universe is so vast, right? Have you ever heard the saying, the universe is within you? If you actually did the path with me and the Return of Christ work with me, I activate more chakras in you than you already had. Those that rose with me have 10 activated chakras within them now. And they have more clairs too, okay? Because it's an ethereal. We're going back and forward at the same time, all right? This is a soul reset. We're transforming. And you need to, the more you release, the more you transform back into that, all right? And so this is speaking loudly. If somebody needs to get grounded, they need to ground and center and return to their soul path. This card's coming out again, the compass one. Your soul path realignment, okay? We are co-creators. We are either co-creating with the heart center and spirit and God, or the shadow, okay? It's one or the other. Darkness or light. What are you co-creating with and why? In order to create from the heart center, you cannot have any karma and shadow. That is where you're going to find God. And remember, we are all connectedness. That's Christ consciousness. Everything in the new you do in the new earth has to be based in love, okay? Because that's Christ consciousness, all connected through love and light. Everything you do affects the other, okay? Everything, and I do mean everything. So, you know, even if you let go of the distracted ones, you're still helping them. You're going to help them through their own free will, okay? Which is God. Everybody has free will, and you cannot bypass theirs or yours. Spirit cannot do that. So it is your choice. Okay? It's time to transform into communication with co-creation with Spirit from the heart center. So if you have any shadow in that heart center, you will not hear Spirit. Okay? And that's what this book talks about. It also has invocations to help with that. All right. So now I need to go to this deck, which is my deck. This was my second deck I created. It is Ascension Healing Messages, Ascension Portal Healing Messages. And I created this deck as I was activating the Ascension portals. So when I was activating the pyramids, all of them in this deck actually completed when I cleared the Nile portal. So it truly did go with the lessons that you have to learn through the Ascension. Okay? So let's see what they have to say for this one. Shuffle again. And again. I need to clear the energy of them, they're saying. I think I'm going to redo this deck. And my first one, my very first one I did when I was in the thick of the battle of the love with my DM. All right, so let's see what this says. Just, are you willing to let go of the past and step forward? That's what's required. We don't have time to sit here and ponder and still saturate ourselves in the past. We've got to just let it go. That brings me back to the Six of Swords. We've got to let it go and stand in strength in doing so, even if it hurts. Okay? Big time message. Even if it hurts, we got to let it go and stand in strength in doing so, because something better is on the other side. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, I'm going to let that pyramid go. My pyramid portal messages knocked over a pyramid. What does that mean? I have one more in here, they're saying. Oop, there it is. All right. Okay, my friends, let's see what this message is. Oh, ooh, I like this. So I just said that as I was shuffling. Okay. As I was shuffling, I said it's not always easy. The path is not always an easy one. However, if it was, you would never challenge yourself or grow. Okay? It's not easy. That's why the new earth is a rite of passage. Okay? It's for who's willing to do the work. It's not meant to be easy. It's soul growth. Soul growth is your passage into new earth. Lay of the land changes when open doors are used. So this is what I talk about is the earth, the world around you does not change until your internal environment does. Okay, so when you accept the challenges of soul growth, you accept that gate. And then your world will change with it. Okay, that's how it works. The world does not just change for you. It can only change through you. All right, nothing happens to you, only through you. So the path is not always easy. It's here to kick your butt. It's time to grow. It's time to let it go. This brings me back to the Six of Swords again. Okay, let go of the past, even if it's difficult. You got to ride through those challenges, even when they're difficult. You have power in you, okay? You have strength in you, I promise you. You do. It's just going to make you think you don't. That's those distractions, okay? It's going to convince you you can't. It's going to convince you something's going to be horrible, and it's not unless you allow it to be. Okay? Unless you allow that to be co-creating. Remember, you're co-creating with something. Is it light or is it shadow? Okay? So, especially with my work, like the path to righteousness, I happen to know that there were people that were feeling the nudge to it, but they let the resistance get in their way because it was going to be challenging. But it's meant to be. Okay, because when you accept those soul growth challenges, your world changes. You rise to the new earth. You are free. You become free, freer than you ever know. Most abundance you've ever known. That's the new earth, okay? It takes years to develop, but can be demolished in minutes. Size is an illusion of many things. Look at this. It's all right here in the message I'm bringing you, right? So sometimes it's like this, it's impossible. You'll hear that energy. It's a distraction. If you do this, this will fall apart. If you do this, it's going to be impossible. You'll never make it there. Blah, 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 blah. The world can seem so big. It can seem like the biggest challenge before you. But when you step in and you accept it, it's much smaller than you thought it was. Okay? So sometimes things can take years to develop, right? How long did it take those trees to grow? But they can be demolished just like that. So your choice, through free will, you can either demolish it or allow it to grow. Okay? Size is an illusion of many things. Okay? That's why you never want to look at the size of things. You never want to think ahead, because it's going to make things seem bigger than they are. It's an illusion. When you stay in the here and the now and you focus on the growth of the soul, accepting the challenges, letting go of what once was, even if we don't understand, begin to co-create with that heart space, even though it seems very foreign, ancient future, and difficult, right? Or a challenge, whatever that may be. Once you really truly start doing that and you accept the nudges of co-creation from God and Spirit, immediately things change and you realize it wasn't as big as you thought. Okay? If you're willing to just push past that resistance, it's all it takes. Okay? Pushing past it, not accepting the dark thoughts or the what ifs, but knowing that you are it. Okay? Make sense? So I could say, no, it's going to be this. No, I want it to be this, and that's what it's going to be, because I'm a creator. I'm a creator. Okay? Elemental purpose. Everything has a purpose, even things unseen. So that resistance is blocking you from something good, and it doesn't want you to see it. Those distractions. Remember back to the beginning of the message, distractions. It's blocking you from what's good because it doesn't want you to see it. Okay, because everything has a purpose. Every challenge, right? That's where the resistance will truly be, is when it's really going to set you free. Okay, one more card for this message from my very first deck, Messages from Our Loved Ones and Guides. This was my Messages from Our Loved Ones and Guides. It's a really good deck to connect you to the other side, whether it be loved ones that have passed or spirit, angels, higher selves, and guides. That's what this deck is for. Okay? So let's see what our soul team, our tribe has to say here. Let's see what our soul team and tribe and our final message has to say. Oh, we're getting repeated messages throughout different decks. I love it how that happens. Oh, I love it. I really do love this deck. This was my very first deck I created. I love watching the journey of my decks unfold too, because it took us through the ascension. I love it. Okay. So let's see what these ones say. Woo! I love this deck. Okay. Here we are again, right? Time to start a new adventure, right? But those adventures don't start unless we walk through that door. We have to accept the challenge, walk through the door of unfamiliarity, I'm hearing, and a new adventure begins. It is time to start a new adventure, okay? Not an old one, all right? There is magic in you. So this is what I talk about. And so it is. Thank you. So it's your book. It's your story. You are writing your story. Okay? So there is magic in you. All right? So when the shadow says, oh my God, it's going to be this. And if you go, okay, that's what I'm afraid of, I'm not going to do it. Then you just wrote the story and you didn't do it. You didn't step in through that door. Okay? That's the ascension too. It's here for those stepping through the doors. It's here for those taking the challenge. It's here for those pushing past the resistance. And then their world changes. Okay? So the new earth is created through your choices. All right? It happens internally first. So remember, whatever you accept is what's going to be for you. You are skywriting your fate. Co-creating. Okay, you're always co-creating. You know, the Akashic Records, every choice you make is written in there. Because it either is or isn't. And so it is. So every choice you make either is or isn't. It either activates or it doesn't. It either, you know, aligns you to your soul path or it doesn't. All right. So your choices, you are a creator, determine whether you walk through that door or not. But either way, there are changes on the way. Okay. So there are big upheavals and changes coming. And I've actually had dreams of wind lately, big gusts of wind coming in. So there are big changes coming for everybody. But your change that's going to occur for you depends on what choice you made. Did you accept the soul growth, even if it's not easy, and walk through that door? Or did you not? Either way, change is coming. That's why some will rise and some will not, okay? So focusing on your health. You see the image in this card? Focusing on your health. Okay, this person is meditating. They're calming their mind. They're awakening. Remember co-creating coming through the heart space, the need to release. Okay, that is focusing on your health, your body, your mind, and your soul. The reason we struggle mentally and as a community is because we forgot about emotions. We learn to numb emotions and be more focused in our head where the shadow resides, and that creates anxiety and chaos. Thinking ahead creates anxiety and chaos and fear and makes things seem really difficult. Okay? So the more we get out of our head and drop into our body, you see the heart shape in his legs here. Self-love, love of the self, love of our body. We are focusing on our body and our soul and taking control back of the mind and allowing it not to be cluttered by negative thoughts and negative energies and people. Okay? Then anything is possible. So why not your wishes and dreams? Remember this. Everything is or isn't. You are a co-creator. Remember. Co-creating. Okay? You are a co-creator. And in the new earth, you are. It's freedom. Right? You're going to create from the heart space. You have to be a heart space creator. Can't take the shadow with you. We cannot be duality anymore. So you must believe in yourself. You must know you're a co-creator and have the lens of love. And know that anything is possible. So even your wishes and dreams too, why not yours? Everything you see came from somebody's imagination. I channeled each deck of mine, right? I got one more coming. These people channeled these decks. It came from their imagination. Everything you see came from somebody's insides and they tapped into it. And then they knew they were worth it, so they put it out there, right? And trust me, it's not always easy because, you know, people may not always support you. I know that feeling, okay? And even in the Return of Christ work, because there's great resistance. And that's okay, but we're looking for those that push past that resistance, okay? So everything matters. Why not you? Anything is possible. It is or it isn't. There is magic in you. Anything is possible. So why not your wishes and dreams? And that's what your heart is nudging you to let go of the matrix, the control, the yucky, the mucky that's falling. It has to fall. That's what I did in the Return of Christ. The old order is falling. It cannot survive on any level, and I do mean any level. Okay, the whole thing is falling. Even my twin towers healing, like all of that's all there. So nothing can remain the way it was. Nothing will remain the way it was. Okay, big changes are on the way. Big changes. Okay, so anything is possible. What are your dreams and wishes? It's time to make them come true. And they're not always as big and difficult as we think they are. That's an illusion. And we can get clarity and understanding of that if we're focusing on our internal well-being. All right? That was the message for today. I hope it was received for whoever needed it. So much love to all of you. Thank you for being here with me. If you have any questions, comment below. Just make sure it's of light only. Okay? Love and light. Say, I am a creator. I am powerful. I am accepting all soul path challenges. I am rising. The new earth is creating through me, and I am willing to push past the resistance and let all of that go. I anchor into the correct communities and know that we are all connected through the heart space. It is time to return to that of what we once were. My new soul path alignment. I am soul path aligned. Okay? I am powerful. I am creator. I am. So much love, my friends. Till next time. See you later, my soul path aligned warriors.